I do feel like the Dazzle really does thrive when it's built around a lot of this like group up and push though, right? Which is something that a Dawnbreaker, a Beastmaster, and Enchantress really thrive in. And oddly enough, Hydra, they're the heroes that they've banned out themselves. So I find that a little bit odd for sure, but clearly they must have something in mind with this. I guess a lot of the damage coming through from PuckChamp is going to be coming quick and fast, so the Shallow Grave is going to be fairly useful.
Some kind of response to that, and Oracle is also an uncontested hero, so we have two new heroes, both for PuckChamp, so they're experimenting with something here. As already thought those thought processes might be exactly aligning with us and PuckChamp with the first phase pick Sven, but now, what does this Oracle bring on the board? You can lock down Zeus, or at least root him down to the spot. Same thing for the Tiny, can work out nicely. Remove Zeus's damage output, for example, with his second spell. Those are some good things. And Coddle healing with Oracle ulti can do some nice things. How much healing does that actually
You're reaching,
do?
T. You're reaching here. I think it's,
I am, but how much is that healing with the Illuminate? And how much was it 2 times or 3 times with the Oracle ulti? I think it was double.
Oh, good question. Let me have a look. It's just not even picked these days. Double.
And the Illuminate heal
Double.
is it 400, 500, or 600?
It's 60% of 40, 50, 60% of whatever the heal does, basically.
Right.
At different levels of your spirit form. I don't think that's the reason. I think it's they honestly might just be messing around a little bit here. Again, it doesn't matter their result for PuckChamp. But it could just be, look, against these 3 heroes, it's very physical damage based. Sorry, not physical, magic damage based. So the Fate's Edict is going to have a really high amount of value. You've got that lockdown if this Coddle is going to be a core, just to be able to, of course, be able to land those Illuminates a whole lot more reliably. Other than that, I really don't know. Like you said, there's a reason this is the first time it's been picked throughout the Division 2. I know it has been picked in Division 1 because I was casting one of the earliest series, but
5 seconds.
yeah, it just
hurry.
feels a little janky, to be honest. And even like a Razor into a Sven, unless this is going to be like a 4 Sven and a 5 Timbersaw and a 1 still yet to come.
Now you're reaching here now. But
do you
it's
want to
possible.
play a Sven into a Razor, you know, as a core? Probably not. It's one of the worst heroes, I would say. No mobility. Yes, Warcry gives increased movement speed, but like, what do you do outside of like your right click? The stun isn't that great.
I don't know if the Oracle Disarm works against the Link on Razor. I don't think he should be able to attack, because Razor already can't attack, but does the animation still allow Razor to deal physical damage while being disarmed? That is a question I cannot answer. So Razor at least isn't a traditional right-clicker who would have a burden with that, for sure. That is something.
10 seconds.
But yeah, but they've picked it into the Oracle, so it's not like this Oracle is in response to the Razor at all, right? Like, it's I don't know. I'm just gonna go back to that over and over again. Both teams, I guess, if the Svens are position 1, you have some of that tower taking potential, particularly the high ground. But both teams still need it in my books. I don't think you can rely on one hero to do it. It could be a 1 Tiny, you know, who knows? But against a Timbersaw strength hero, probably not. You would assume that it's going to be a Razor 1 in this situation.
I think we should just quickly download the PuckChamp logo, put it on top of Danog's camera, and say this is fine, because it would sit with the background. I think they're pretty okay with what they're going with here. But that is a thing that Hydra might still have to exploit in a very cautious manner, because even if PuckChamp is playing for no bets here, Hydra has a stakes game, and they want to get that victory early on and at least survive pretty well. Asgold's a pretty good Zeus player, that is for sure. But now the big question is this Tiny going to be put to the pause 1 role, and is Rari the one to play it, or does Rari want something different? PuckChamp is bringing the Pudge. We might see a Sven support with a Pudge carry. I'm just going to say it right now, because I feel that might happen.
Yeah. I was telling you, like, this could potentially happen. I mean, I think it'll be an Oracle 5 and a Sven 4 in this sort of situation. And honestly, the Razor doesn't mind going into either of those lanes. I mean, the Ursa into the Timbersaw is pretty good as well. Alright, so I'm assuming, yes, Dakar is the Oracle. Yep.
Yep, there we have it.
Force fan. I called it, and you said I was delusional. Come on.
I think it was when you said the support Timber saw. I was a bit
Oh,
doubtful
I didn't
for
say
that.
support fan. I said supports fan. I said supports fan.
Okay, support Sven. That one I did here, and I'll give it to you. Support Sven, and we have a carry Pudge for PuckChamp. This is something that players like, I think, Matumba Man and a couple others were saying that it is broken, at least with the changes.
Yatoro said it's broken.
Yatoro said it was broken. Mato said it was broken when I talked with him some time ago. And I think a lot of other streamers have also been saying that Pudge as a core is really, really damn good.
I think you need to enable him a little bit though, right? Like, I think he needs some movement speed. That's where someone like a Marcy pairs together really well with a Pudge, just to be able to amp up, get more use out of the Rot. I mean, I feel like the Razor and the Ursa are both really solid picks into the Pudge, to be honest, right? Like, you might be able to block up a good amount of the damage through some of the early hits, but once you get those Fury Swipes stacked up, Pudge can start to melt. Same sort of thing with dealing with some of the right-click that Pudge is able to do. He's certainly no slouch in that regard, so Razor getting a solid static link off is going to be pretty good too. I think PuckChamp are just having fun with this. You know, like, it doesn't really matter, their result. I think it's might even be more beneficial for them in the long run to just have fun with a pro game, have some laughs, build up some of that team morale. Because at the end of the day, they're staying at Div 2. They're still going to be going to the TI regional qualifiers. So, yeah, just have fun as a team.
Good old team morale. Something that East European Dota is sometimes a bit infamous for. If you think SEA is something, then East Europe has its own perks and own quirks, for sure. Quickly going for the ward into mids. They don't see Ascult though, but Ascult gets his own ward down. Neither of them actually know about these. Love Roger.
We'll see them all reveal now, though. So, yep, there we go. Pings starting to go out. So, good start for Hydra, being able to potentially spot out where
Roger, don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. Oh, he does do it anyway. Goes in for the stun, and Roger is going to be dropping instantly. But a lot of damage from the Illumina connecting onto 5. Young G being targeted on the Timber Saw, 15 HP, but it's not enough to take him down. He gets the stick to heal himself, and the right clicks from the Dazzle ain't going to do it. But Hydra pull off the first blood on Roger, and it goes for kicked.
Oh, boy. So it's going to be a mid-Timber as well, which is going to be certainly exciting. Got Malik actually playing the off-lane Coddle.
He doesn't actually have time to go to the fountain because the creep's already spawning, so he's burning 2 tangos already to eat a couple trees. Gonna be a bit of a rocky start.
Standing underneath the tower as well. Get that extra 3 regen from the tier 3 and tier 2 towers.
Yeah. I mean, he should be almost full HP by the time he gets back into the lane. But then there's Ascult with Zeus, starting off with Chain Lightning. Timber obviously notorious for hating spells. Let's get our laning stage underway as well. We'll be keeping a keen eye, especially on how does Ducalis enable Krellat with this Pudge. That's the timing they're looking for. Is ICQ able to punish him with this +3 Razor? Good side for him is he can still keep dealing damage even if the Pudge and the Oracle were to chase this Razor down. So with the Link and with the Nova, some good harass.
Yeah, the thing is with his position 4 Tiny, a lot of the times you can look to try and contest, get some of those denies off, but not against a Pudge. Pudge is like one of the 2 heroes that you can't do that with, the only other one being Tree and Protector. So Krellat should still be able to get a good amount of last hits in this lane, and of course, you've still got that kill threat with the Fortune's End into the hook, especially against a Tiny who has 0 armor, so he's going to be suffering for sure if Pudge is able to just right-click it for free.
One thing that I've really liked about PuckChamp is the addition of Roger. You just cannot highlight the experience and the history this man has had throughout his Dota career, playing in some big teams, making a name for himself. And then I guess you could say there were some better supports at the time who kind of maybe stole Roger's spotlight and now playing with PuckChamp. But he's definitely a very important addition to this team. And I think maybe his shot calling is something that could push PuckChamp to excel with these even weirder drafts that they're coming out with. In the bottom lane, this is exactly what's happening with the Link already burnt out, but Putch doesn't mind. Ducalis with the right, the fire to burn down ICQ. Ally will miss the hook, but a kill is a kill.
Purifying Flames, of course, such a great tool at being able to A, secure range creeps, B, being used for harass. The reason why these Oracles look to vary themselves a good amount of regen. Got the stick charges, of course, the enchanted mango, great to be able to use for this lane very consistently. You're gonna have to assume Hydra are going to win this game, but how are we? How's the output actually gonna work?
Yeah, I'm kind of curious about how this Pudge escalates. Is he more of those snowbally type heroes? Because you've got the rot that you can use for jungle farming, so you can still cut down creep waves pretty fast. You can jungle rotate to keep up your farm. But how snowbally is he in the end? How big of a role does the flesh heap play?
It's the flesh heap, but also just the things like the Aghanim Scepter is going to be the big thing that you're looking to prioritize. You're obviously not this big right-clicking carry. That's one area where I feel like PuckChamp really could come undone. Like, you might be able to win a lot of these team fights just based off of raw skill. But how are you actually going high ground? Like, Coddle doesn't do any damage. Pos Force Sven doesn't do any damage. Timbersaw doesn't do any damage. Unless he's got, like, the flamethrower.
That is true.
So, it'll be a little rough for sure.
That is true. They are going to struggle with taking down objectives. But I guess if you kill the entire team, you don't have to worry about that too much. But maybe Roger has to think about some semi-damaging Sven. You know, you still got a decent amount of damage out of your God Strength. But you will need some item to buff up your right click. I don't know.
Like drums, maybe? Just to buff up the whole team?
Drums was something. I was going further away with that. I'm thinking about Echo Saber because of the mono regen, but I guess drums would be a lot better. Or maybe even Vlad's for the team.
Yeah. Drums, Vlad's both going to be... Doesn't really feel like you get the same level of impact out of it. I really like the drums. Like that, plus the Warcry, just as a tool to be able to kite away from the Razor, from the Ursa, are going to be really useful. So yeah, I can see the drums were certainly working.
1-to-1, Rari and Kicked. They're the ones lacking any stuns in this lane, so already saw Malik teleport out once. A lot of heavy nuke coming in though, following up from the Stormhammer into the Illuminate. We'll have to rely a lot on this Rari damage output. He's got himself the early Morbid Mask at least, allows him to sustain a lot better in the lane. But I don't feel like they have too much kill potential unless they get both of their slows to stack with the Poison Touch and the Earth Shock. That's going to take some levels.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. Meanwhile, on the bottom side, it really feels like they could go for a kill at any moment, right? You've got Roulette, who's now got that Flesh Heap available, got that extra damage block, the strength bonus, of course, the meat hook. Oh, actually making Roger have a rotation down here, just wanting to get that stun.
Root
they might be able to land it.
Hook into stun. Works like a dream. Very solid execution. I mean, when you have an Oracle in the team and your opponent's overextended, you know you're dead. But adding up an extra stun and guaranteeing the hook. Positive side for the Pudge. You don't need to be a, you know, I was about to say a low MMR player, but you don't need to build the rod to secure the hook.
Yeah, for sure. Proval looking to try and secure the bottom rune, though, and looks like it's top anyway, with Askeladd being able to... Askold, rather, being able to pick that one up.
He's in trouble, though. Heavy nukes coming in, and one right-click to finish it off. Young G will take this one. 1v2ing the situation, and getting the Purge as well to remove the Poison Touch. But Koval almost does it, but it's a really, really good Fate's Edict there to keep up Young G. He denied the bounty rune, so he doesn't get a bottle refill. Cannot get the deny. Double kill for Young G on the Timbersaw. Good start here for PuckChamp, and very good rotations here coming in with the supports. Totally catching them off guard here with Roger retroactively playing 3 lanes. Now smoking up to get some more attention towards the opponent's side of the map. don't think they want to kill the Zeus, but they're drawing a line to the bot lane, and they're like, hey, let's do a repeat kill on the Razor again.
Yeah, of course. You just want to discourage him from coming back to that lane very consistently, but realistically, there's nowhere else he can go, right?
It's baited in. They're coming. The reinforcements are arriving. Pudge, he's tanking a lot of this damage, throwing a bit of rot, but not really making any big plays here as Young G finally arrives. There's the stun. Here comes the roots. Twilight could hook him, but no, the Zeus ulti kicks in first. Dazzle does get the grave as well onto the Razor, but one hit to finish him off. Going to be the whirling death from Young G, and he's now on a killing spree.
Oh, nice value coming out of that first Thunder Gods for sure. Instantly just leveling up Ascald as well. So they give him a good way to be able to continue the snowball from happening. And we've seen some pretty good uses of the Fate's Edict so far by Ducalis, but certainly you're not able to be on point every single time.
Good courier snipe there from Malik. Rory did get his items off of it nevertheless, but 55 gold each. Supports love that.
Dire's middle tower is being attacked.
Looking at our first 8 minutes of play, Timbersaw leading net worth, followed up by the Ursa at 3,900. Tiny in a very awkward position in the river, and here comes a hasted Pudge, but Young G will take this one. That's Flesh Heap stack.
Just go ahead and deal away this this camp here. I mean, it's stacked up a little bit, but instead using the haste to go back back.
He wants Flesh Heaps. All the money you can get. Up to 4 now. The Eye of the Storm. Razor able to get a bit of extra damage. Oh!
You know, maybe he needs that Rod of Atos, T.
Maybe he does. I was suspecting a bit of a juke there, but ends up walking in a straight line, and the Oracle Q just basically holds him on the spot, and the hook basically tickles the Razor. Koval, he is in for an ill witness here, and again, nice avalanche reduction there basically to Ducalis, making Tiny's work all to void. Asphalt kept away as well. This is some really good PuckChamp play. They're making Hydra feel like a bit silly at this point. Lat, low on HP. Ducalis secures it in with the flames. He is going to drop in a moment. Does he get the deny, though? No, he doesn't. He doesn't get close to the Ice Shaman. And Rory TP'd in for this, too.
Yeah, he was trying to get that kill onto the Pudge before he TP'd out, but he was just about a second too late. It was just on the back of a few little things, like even there with Ducalis going down, he was body blocking as Pudge made his escape. So just the small things that PuckChamp are out executing ahead of Hydra, showing why they've already secured their spot in Division 2 for the next season.
PuckChamp really showing why they've got that experience from playing Division 1 teams. PuckChamp did have a pretty good role, I think, last year. They were playing against some of the top teams and actually hooked the Zeus to his death.
I think in Season 1 of this tour, it was, they might have got second overall, unless I'm mistaken. It's either second or third.
Second or
they ended
third,
up
yeah.
securing for themselves. But then, of course, the surprise drop down to Division 2. At the end of the day, I guess you could say it was kind of warranted, right? Like, they aren't getting relegated out of Division 2, but they're not getting promoted back up. At the moment, sitting in a 3-3 series score. So, right now, just looking to recompose themselves. Oh, this be another Fate's Edict. It's still just level 1, so very short cast range, but Young G is just so tanky.
He's tanky, and Ducalis is providing him with a lot of support here as well. Extra healing. Timber doesn't really need to right-click at all. This combo works out very nicely. Young G goes in, and oh, look at that nuke. Blinding light into the Illuminate, and Pick tries the TP, but it won't happen. Roger snaps the hammer at the same time the TP was about to finish, so he dies. Put the ulti on the Timber, keep him alive for a little bit longer, and I think he should survive. He had a lot of healing on him. Yep, back to full HP, back to 1400. Rory did kill the Oracle at least.
Ascol was really holding that Thunder God's Wrath the entire time as well. Did I hear a God Strength being used in the mid lane? Yes, I did. Roger doesn't have a single point in the Great Cleave, but he just wants to try and clear this out a little bit quicker now that they don't have the glyph available, although it might end up being
no
his
Oracle,
undoing.
no save. Roger down. Rory on the other side, and looks like Timbersaw might just go down too, unless he Timber chains away in the nick of time. Oh, what a save again from Ducalis, soaked up the lightning bolt damage. And that last right click from Rory wasn't enough to finish him off. Liquid voice lines all over the place. the Colossus is playing an amazing Oracle game.
It's one of his best heroes back when it was meta, so I certainly see the reason why. If they want to just have some fun, then you can by all means go for it. And imagine if they win. What would our interview questions be?
Are you giving a percentage chance for PuckChamp to win this?
I really don't rate their high ground, man. I think it's like, I think they could be ahead for like 90% of this game and then just lose a couple of fights and then lose.
Yeah, that's the Ursa factor. He's got a Diffusal Blade. I believe you have Diffusal, Blink, and maybe I don't know, not a Butterfly, maybe an MKB on Rari. I feel like he could just smash the backline. He can man-fight the Pudge. Pudge's damage block doesn't really help too much against Fury swipes. Yeah, I can definitely see Hydra's winning this game, but PuckChamp, at least for now, they're on a really good roll.
Yeah, they're in the driver's seat for sure.
Oops, was that me?
I don't even need to look into a parallel universe to see if Hydra's going to win this. I can definitely see them win with this lineup. But they just need to get a bit of time, a couple items under their belts, and the rest is really down to how do they solve out this Oracle question. That's probably their biggest issue in this game.
Is that a Marvel joke? I'm not sure. The whole parallel universe and Hydra.
I guess it's hard to mix them together in a sense because, you know, Hydra is easy to link together. Though, being aggressive, Young G doesn't quite get to the high ground. He's broken, not getting any reactive armor stacks for a second, but now he's back into action. Rari is kind of stuck on the high ground. He's finally got them out of the Earthshock and goes straight for the Oracle and takes it down. Sven into the air. Roger with the Warcry with the stick charges coming out, and here comes the Thundergirl's Wrath as well. Hydra will find two. Kicked. Keeping Malik and Young G at bay.
Still weren't able to get rid of that high ground ward. That's where the pings are coming out now. I'm going to need to ask you the number for Eastern Europe, who sit towards the top. But, yeah, I mean, if they were able to take that one away, maybe Oracle was able to play a little bit more in safety. But he should have clearly known that the rest of the team was around if they were looking to try and de-ward quite so fervently. One side, Revolt is the main target coming through next. This does feel like a pub, right? A 5v5 stack coming through where they're just trying to go for kill after kill after kill. Who cares what it means 30 minutes into the game? We're just playing for the now.
Pretty much. I mean, they're having a lot of fun here for sure, but I'm thinking there might be some truth to the fact that they're practicing maybe something they played in the scrims. This could just be them just playing fun heroes and enjoying the game. They still have to play the regional qualifiers anyway for the future tournaments. Oh, Malik in trouble though. Let's get the slow removed. A very, very fast Piggy. That's actually like an S tier item for Coddle, having the pig fall.
Oh yeah, Coddle, Batrider, they're certainly the ones that you want to have it on.
Rari getting slowed up. Might comes out as well. Have to jump at the high ground back to safety. Working on the blink, and he's going for the BKB.
You mentioned those regional qualifiers. This might just be one of those instances of if they're like, guys, if we can win this game, we can win anything. You know, just give them the
it could be. I mean, it could be. It's not a long count or a long shot for that one. Koval getting punished by Young G. Now Roger also pretty deep in, chasing Rari away, but they can't hurt this Ursa, at least for the time being. He's the one who wants to deliver the hurt to them. But Krilla, 7 seconds for a hook. Another good hook could just open them up the entire fight, and that is the wild card factor. Roots connecting on the Razor. Can't get into hooking range, but he will be able to take down the Dazzle. I think they prioritize the support a bit more. Young G on the back line, and on the front is as well Ursa getting hammered down and eaten by Pudge.
They're doing it, T. They're doing it. The boys are doing it. Roger trying to, I was about to say bait them in a little bit here, but no, he's just sitting back, wanting to make sure that still, with his 0 points of greater cleave, he gets full use of that God Strength. And he's going the Shard. Again, pretty terrible against this lineup that Hydra have in terms of their right click. But it's an ability, and he will use it.
You better use those abilities if they're given to you. Ascult has had some time to avoid these fights for a bit, but now he's being surrounded by 4 enemy heroes. Getting pummeled. Ducalis, they just have so much burst damage. What can you do? ICQ able to get the TP away. Koval dodging the Chakram, tossing one hero away. And that new Avalanche is really working in his favor. Malik is almost sniping a courier while he's at it. Chakram misses. Tiny is being chased by 4 heroes. Able to hide inside the tree line, keep himself up for a bit longer. 15 kills for PuckChamp in a 4K lead. What do you think about that?
I still think this is a pub. All right, so if this was a pub, which player are you? Like, which one do you identify with the most this game?
Identify with? I think I'm kind of putting myself in the eyes of the Razor, where you're like, I feel I'm forced that I need to do something for the team, but I can't actually do anything proper. And if I do, I'm going to end up feeding, and the opponents are going to get bigger, and I don't know what to do. So I kind of feel like ICQ.
Yeah, I'm feeling a little bit like kicked right now. I'm like, well, I can maybe save someone, but then what beyond that? You know, what I'm able to do exactly to be able to help things out as PuckChamp just run at another person, right? Like the shallow grave, he's got more points into it just because he wants to be spamming it out as much as possible, especially from that long range. But honestly, if he's able to get into that agony, good.
Okay, there we go. The Thunder God's Wrath will finish him off. Fuels in 1 second. Oh, just about to come off cooldown, but not early enough for the TP cancel. Rory was chasing Malik in the tree line, but as soon as the pick pole got activated, just basically ran away from the Ursa. Thank God you have a Zeus for that. I wonder whether or not using Zeus ult now in Party Champ.
True.
Talking about pings, I actually want to look at the ping numbers for these two teams. So, they are as follows. They're actually in the middle grounds. Hydra averages 212 and PuckChamp averages 242, which is the second highest after No Sorry with 306.
I feel like those numbers are still high. Like, it has to, like, count drawing on the map as multiple
I think it might. I think it might count drawing on the map. Like, every dot is probably 1, but that's still a lot of ping that they do. Maybe if we actually looked at a team perspective, like playing in the team, maybe watching from the coach's perspective or manager's perspective, maybe they might actually see them spam much more than what we don't. Maybe
we've got 8 heroes up top here, and Alec will die.
Down. Rory does get eaten by Pudge again. Ducalis is the one that they fear. PPG also making an approach here. They're smoking to disengage, but it's popped on 2. Koval on the side. He's got a Blink Dagger. And Ascot gets hooked. He got him. Yoink.
Oh. Man, poor Kicked. He's been like literally 0.1 of a second away from graving like 4 separate times that I've seen him. Just because people blow up so damn quickly. Their burst is high on PuckChamp's side.
It's pretty rough for them, and I can see Kicks. Like I've been in those Dazzle games myself, where you're reacting, you're timing the grave, you're casting, he's dead. Then you preemptively cast the grave, and they're like, oh, they didn't jump you, and then you just feel like, am I being cursed or something? Like, what's going on? ICQ in the middle of all, and Jung Ji might have overextended. He doesn't have the backup, and he lands down to his death. Doesn't get the Yules to buy himself some time for the teammates to arrive in time. Kicked is dead. He's down. BKB used by the Razor to dodge the stun, and Ducalis pops his ulti, pumping up those heals, stick charges, popping the salve. It'll be okay. Another turnaround coming in, and they will still take down the Oracle. Koval about to drop as well. Krilla very low on HP, 500 remaining. Rory with 900 should be good at the moment, and Ascot gets sniped. Triple kill for the Pudge. Unbelievable at this moment. Pudge still surviving and dealing these kills. Roger on the hunt, gets the stun on Rory, and another one potentially from Malik, and a hook is available. Roger, just move out of the way. Thank you. And an AoE rot kill for the ultra kill. The guy was like 5 kilometers away.
That's the power of the Ags, man.
Power of the
just
Ags.
has that. Plus the spell lifesteal. He's got the extra rot slow as well. Vanguard. Pretty hard to kill this guy. No, it's all going to be on the back of the Ursa, to be honest.
I I have to say that I'm actually enjoying this game a lot, how messy it is. Like, this is just so goofy in a sense that seeing PuckChamp make this lineup work feels like, hey, this is pretty legit, but it's really fun to watch because this is a very unordinary game. Out of all these meta games you've probably been casting for the last few months, this patch, well, this and the previous patch that have lasted almost for an entire year, it at least feels like it. This is a fresh, what's it called? A breath of fresh air?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, if we were casting NA Dota, we'd be getting this every single day, you know. But certainly a breath of fresh air for Eastern Europe and even C.
Pretty fun series, both. Yeah, the SEA series earlier on today, and now with this this series only getting. This is game 1 only, so Hydra, they gotta find themselves some answers, some kind of engine to run, still live up the dream. That would be staying in Division 2. A loss would be very unfortunate for them in terms of the entire series. Game 1 you can still forgive, but Game 2 and losing that... Well, let's not jump too ahead of ourselves. We will secure Roshan.
Who even gets this? Looks like the Pudge is going to be the one that claims it. I wouldn't have hated Young G to be able to pick it up for himself either.
What's your opinion on the Pudge E bubble animation effect, where it looks like his skin is blistering?
Not obvious enough. I want it a little bit more visible, you know?
Bigger blisters?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's literally called fleshy.
Or maybe sound
It's not
effects.
like Pudge is... True. Some bubbly sound effects.
Yeah. Like that. Hook misses, and Koval goes in, and Pudge is about to blow up. He's very low on HP, does get his ulti off, holding the Ursa. Rory might be the one to actually get killed here. Pudge just gets saved by Takalis. Takalis trying to pump up those heals, and he blinks in. ICQ with the BKB, and he's down to 60 HP. Trying to go for the TP out Takalis. Does he have the right clicks to do it? There's no hook off cooldown either, so they will blow up the Aegis. Rory lives. Hydra are on a mass route. They're just going back into the base. Except Koval. What is Koval up to?
What is anyone up to this game?
What is anyone
Oh,
up to?
they've hooked the Zeus.
Sheep number 14.
He's the main one that's going to be able to stop you from pushing as well. That's actually a pretty big deal, and they'll be able to catch Dazzle as well.
TP home. Nope. 9-1-8 push. That's the way the cookie crumbles.
Out the Ursa. Oh, they're just slowly chasing him down.
He has BKB, but he has no TP. Oh, he got it, but it's on cooldown. 40-second cooldown on the teleport. Pops his BKB as Perla jumps in. And Ursa. 1 versus 5. This is how lonely Rory must be feeling right now. Like, this is a game that even he cannot carry.
Oh, man. Normally when I'm in this sort of situation... Normally when I'm in this sort of situation, my advice is just split push, right? Put people on 3 separate areas of the map and try and push it out as quickly as possible. But realistically, if you're not going a Battle Fury on the Ursa, you can't really push all that effectively. Zeus is pretty much the only hero that can. I guess Tiny a little bit, and maybe the Razor, but I don't know, like it's a really rough spot to be in. If there's anyone to do it, I suppose it would be Razor, right? Because he's got the BKB, he can still look to make a BKB TP away as long as they don't have the Pudge there for part of the rotation. So yeah, for me, it's just about, if the lane's pushed, force them to try and play on your side of the map for a change instead of just constantly running at you as 4 or 5.
Yeah. Koval looking for the connection on the Oracle. Hook save comes out as well. Roger on the side, being slowed up with a heavenly jump. Stun on the Ursa. Hook is up in 3 seconds again. They're sitting right next to the ward, giving them some vision. Another missed hook. Doesn't matter too much. You could just blink in if you wanted to, but Hydra stacking up close, and here comes the hook onto the Razor. Gets his BKB up, and stun will interrupt the Pudge. Pudge needs to get some saves, gets the force snap for the time being. They still got the Oracle ulti, and now they will actually burn it right away to get the Pudge back to full HP. He goes in, but the Illuminate also connecting, and they've got the hook onto Afghan Zeus. There's the grave save from Kick.
That's great.
He's finally got some time to save his buddies, and it's still going to be enough. The toss save from Koval, he will have to sack his life to make sure his cores get out. Kicked. getting in trouble. Timber Chain does come out. Moloch is being slowed up. There's the hook available. Does he snipe it? 1, 2, snipe jump. Actually, just goes in for the blink. Why the hell not? DP cancel. And Kick will be taken down. Meanwhile, in the back lines, ICQ versus Dakalis. Dakalis fighting against the carry. Well, the offlane is a Razor in this case, but at least the physical damage dealer does get slapped in the face by a stampede of horses.
Oh no, not the tips.
Not the
They were
tips.
using Dakalis as bait the entire time.
This is a pub game. This is really a pub game. Now we can all admit. Nobody can say anything else.
Absolutely. And they've even got the flamethrower as well, not wanting to wait until second Roshan to pick it up. They realize that they have pretty terrible high ground push, so it's going to be Young G doing the majority of it. Of course, Krillad still doing a decent amount of right clicks, but this was the main area that I was more concerned about. You can see Asgold. Oh, nice toss.
Good start for things, taking down Roger. Tiny up with the chakram, but it's getting a decent amount of heals in. Almost finished off the tower.
The 2-base tower.
A 2-base tower, indeed. Hydra going in. Krylak going in. Never mind. We'll take that one back. Rari attempting to man-fight the Pudge, but very interesting interaction there with the hook and the blinding light. But Pudge has to be saved by the Dakalis. Rari is packing a mean punch when he has that BKB up and running. ICQ trying to hurt the Pudge from the side. And now he goes back in, gets a decent amount of healing out of that. His hook's available once again with another grave coming in from Kick. And ICQ slowly about to die.
Taunting in his face.
That is a beyond godlike spree now for Krillak. That's
Hook.
12, 1 and 10. Hook almost connects. Gets a high five from the tower. The 2-base tower.
The 2-base tower.
We should get more models like this. This is a pretty mean looking tower.
Is that a pug? It's like a pug.
I kind of missed the Spirit Breaker one.
That's still their team logo.
Yeah, but now they have this. It's a crying pug. Why is it a crying pug, though? It's got a bone in his water martini. Never mind about that. Roger, hunted by Hydra, looking for some pickoffs here. Tossing around the air while being pushed around. Moloch. Another kill for Hydra is gonna take place. Koval still trying to get the Young G. Blink is available. And the toss. No. Just a bit too far. And here comes the Pudge. Here comes the Pudge.
One around the... Oh! Around the backlines.
Teleporting in the middle of all of them. Oh, that's a next level taunt, and that is something. Goes for the double kill. Rari takes down Dakalis with the help of Koval. It's a 2v2. Flamethrower doing some mean work on the Tiny, and those rocks don't like fire. Now Rari versus Krillak in the tree line. His ulti's burnt. KP still available. Gotta love the Blink BKB rot teleport. And just stand there for a second.
Mm-hmm. That's the true essence of taunting. It's even got the Titan Sliver as well. Very good at just providing that little bit of extra magic resistance, of course.
You're happy
Pudge,
to see it.
crazy amounts of right click. Ooh, I nearly thought he was going to be the one that took that spider legs, though. Just give him that extra movement speed. Not that he needs it.
And a DD rune, of course, for him. All for him. Pudge right-clicking. Have you seen a Pudge right-click for 500 damage? I've seen a Pudge right-click for 400 without any extra buffs.
Yeah, no. Games don't normally go that late when it's a Pudge game.
Usually have like this 7,000 HP Pudge, and you just ignore him for the rest of the game. Like, yeah, we can't do anything to him, and if we can avoid him, then we're pretty good. It starts to feel like this Medusa game where it ends up being a 5 versus 1.
Yeah. And then you just have to ignore the one as much as possible. Try and separate it from the rest of the team. But that's the thing about PuckChamp. They're just playing together constantly. The only one playing on his own right now is Malik. Just keeping these lanes shoved in, trying to counter what I said Hydra needed to do before, right? Try and split up the map, prevent PuckChamp from just consistently running at you. And the thing is, if they come to him now, he's also got the recall for teammates to be able to join him when the Aghanim Shard.
Gonna have to rely on some quick burst damage, and Hydra doesn't exactly have a lot of burst unless it is the Tiny and the Zeus working in unison. And they saw the Coddle in the bot lane when they smoked up. But now they're going to be walking into a full-packed PuckChamp lineup here inside the jungle. ICQ leading the charge with the vision, sees the Pudge, sees Roger, sees Young G, snipes a courier.
I don't know if that's the best use of your time. You have complete vision. I guess just not wanting the entirety of PuckChamp to be there. Malik's going to be able to get that D ward, so, well, now you don't see anyone.
Tower is being attacked.
They got the basher on the Ursa. This could be big. But they just need to help this Tiny somehow. They're just standing still, waiting for them to go in, and he jumps the back line, and he instantly bashes to Collis, but he's still able to get his ulti off in time. He uses it on himself. Roger being targeted by ICQ, pops a refresher. Got another link available. Collis, he's being targeted, but he's got himself at full HP, but Pudge doesn't have to save this time, and Pudge has been taken down. It has been an eternity since Pudge has died the last time, but that's a lot of money for ICQ, and Young G down into the arms of Koval, and Pudge buying back into the game. I guess this is where they realize that we could just basically make them suffer and maybe end the game at this point. Hook, no hook, Hex comes out from the poison touch.
Pudge is doing it.
Rory fighting into the end, but it's not going to be enough. Collis is taken down. ICQ with a triple kill, and Razor down. Kurlat is starting another godlike spree once again with that double kill going in his favor. And Hydra, they fought, they battled, but Kurlat, that's actually a brilliant buyback, recognizing that we can just snap this game right here with those kills.
I'm a little surprised he went for the dismember damage and heal instead of the flesh heap buff up. With the amount of kills that he's got this game, and the damage block you're going to need against, you know, Hydra don't have terrible damage. Like we saw in that fight, they were able to take him down once it wore off. So he's going to a refresher. I think he just wants to constantly be able to have that flesh heap for himself.
I guess so, yeah. And the flesh heap with the extra range. Oh, pretty interesting stuff to come out of that. I also agree. I would like to see the flesh heap stack come out at the level 25, but I believe he's just looking at if Oracle just got killed in a fight like that, I need to have some source of regen, and I guess that's why he wants the dismember heal. I don't know. He's thinking in a way of his own, for sure. (38-21). We have 59 kills in 34 minutes. 18,000, now 19,000 lead for PuckChamp. But the win probability is still not at 100. As we just saw from Hydra, they can get a mean fight against PuckChamp, and now with that buyback being used on the Pudge, if they're able to kill him in the same fashion they did in the last team fight, it will buy them a lot of time.
Who's getting this shot? I guess the Pudge, but it's not like he's going to be using the... What is it called? Gobbler? It's just
Snapfire? Oh.
No. I was thinking if the Pudge one was called anything different.
Yeah, I think it's just the Dismember and Eject. But Eject is basically just, well, I mean, you can just leap on your own. I
love reading the flavor text sometimes. Look at Eject's flavor text. Allies emerge forever changed. Like from being inside of Pudge.
Yeah, I mean, considering the abomination that Pudge is and always has been, I guess that's a life-changing experience. Especially if it's a near-death experience. Life and death experience. I guess that's something you can add to the... I don't know. That's not on my bucket list, though.
You don't want to be a Pudge entree?
A Pudge entree?
That's cool.
Yeah. I don't know what to add to this anymore. I mean, we need Rory for this, but Rory's not around. Under the tower, though. Gets a couple hits in, and oh, he's going to get hooked, but also interrupted by the Ignis Fatus. Held in place so the hook doesn't go all the way through, so he won't be able to get dismembered. Interacts are down,
of
so
as well.
At least they figured out the damage issue here.
It's a 6v3, man. It is a 6v3 with this Aegis.
What do you do when you can do absolutely nothing?
Shift, enter, GG.
That is an option. The base racks are fallen. Now it's just the crying pug.
Poor pug.
Poor pug. 2 lanes of racks down. PuckChamp still inside the base. They have the Aegis for another 3 minutes. Refresher is almost ready on the Pudge. Got a couple he's got a Blink Dagger coming on the... Wait, is that the Pudge courier? No, that's the Sven courier.
Roger.
So Roger's getting the Blink. I was wondering, because he already had the Blink. I was like, double Blink? No, hell no.
Yeah, Warcry is actually really good as a support thing. Like, I was thinking, like, this game not so much, but with a Pudge, with how little armor you have, it's actually super useful, right? Most of the time at level 10, you get the +4 armor just because Pudge is pretty god-awful. Now he doesn't look so bad because he's got the Shiva's Guard, but yeah, certainly just having that passive 7 plus the extra 25 that you get whenever Sven pops it, it's pretty significant.
It is pretty significant for sure. Like, your damage is based on now sustaining, Ursa getting a lot of hits, building up the Fury Swipe stacks, and PuckChamp just basically out-damages your sustained damage with their own sustained damage, if that makes any sense. They just have more damage, let's put it that way.
Completely. Alright, Refresher available on Mr. Pudge. Full smoke again, with the exception of the Timbersaw.
We're just gonna lock our camera. Lock our camera on the Pudge and see what he's gonna be doing this game, okay? Strolling in. Da-da. Da-da. Melee creep. Refresher now? No. Imagine throwing a hook, Refresher, and throwing it again. Can we see that?
And missing again. I think we'll see it. Just not on creeps.
But can you... Oh, it's right in front. Oh.
Oh! Refresh.
No, no refresh yet. I guess he's waiting to see 2 heroes on his screen until he actually lands it down. Waiting next to the pillar. Koval is Glimmer Cape, and they're gonna go for him. Pops his BKB at least to start things off with. There's the first dismember. Shiva's being used. They're barely tickling this guy at this point. There we go. He goes in. He's got the Refresher. Goes in for the second. Dismember onto the Ursa. Rory dropping low.
A lot of damage.
But it's just not enough. Yes, it is. Rory finally taken down, and here's the buyback coming in as well. Ursa. He's basically minus 214 damage. He's got 9 Fury Swipe stacks. He's minus 25 armor, but he's still living his first life. And back into the arms of the Ursa once again. Kicked with the grave to keep him alive just a bit longer. Look at them go.
It's going to be a dieback.
That's
game. Well,
game that could have been over quite some time ago, but PuckChamp, he secured it. Pudge carry for the victory, supports Sven in his place. The Colossus Oracle. Wow.
It was a really good Oracle performance for sure, and yeah, I feel like some of it for sure was abuse of the fact that they just didn't look to split up and counter what PuckChamp were trying to throw at them, but they just got outplayed. They got outplayed by a bit of a meme draft. So, yeah, that's certainly going to be a little bit demoralizing. Hopefully not enough to make them just be tilted in game number 2, but you have to be feeling good on PuckChamp's side. A series that doesn't matter for you, still able to get a win with a draft like that is encouraging, to say the least.
We talked about the morale effect, the momentum, how important it is for a team like Hydra to at least get themselves a good battle out of game 1. Weren't able to establish too much in this game. They were just on the back foot this entire game, not getting their spells timed correctly, but that wasn't the issue. PuckChamp outskilled them, outplayed them, and this was a... this is something that you would like to say a masterclass performance, but in the end, it's just... a demoralizing defeat for Hydra in the end. Like this, like you said, it's pretty much a pub strat that wins them this one.
Question for you. You've got your let's call it a spreadsheet open. The spreadsheet open there that tells us, it was the first Sven game. It was the first Oracle game of Eastern Europe Div 2. Any other unpicked heroes that we could maybe expect to see come through in the next game?
Any unpicked heroes? So, out of the hero pool of 22, I'm going to list these up in a rapid fire. We have 20 heroes remaining in the pool. We have Drow Ranger, Earthshaker, Shadow Fiend, Vengeful Spirit, Lion, Witch Doctor, Ricky, Tinker, Luna, Omni Knight, Broodmother, Bounty Hunter, Spirit Breaker, Gyrocopter, Silencer, Meepo, Troll, Magnus, E.T., Arc Warden. I would like to see an Elder Titan, first of all.
I would like to see an Elder Titan.
That's a really good hero against Agi heroes. But something tells me we might see something like a core Bounty Hunter. PuckChamp feels like the team that could play a hero like a carry Bounty Hunter.
Core Silencer as well, I think they could make work. It just seems like the sort of style that they would look to pull out, but we'll see. We'll see. Time will tell. Thank you, everyone, for watching that very enjoyable pub game. No, we are not watching Dota TV live. This is Beyond the Summit, and yeah, game number 2 should be up pretty shortly. Isn't that right?
That is correct. We're going to take a tiny break, and we'll see you in just a bit.